I'm 32 years old, and I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I'm either going to continue to keep doing what I've been doing for the past 32 years or pivot. Why I quit my job. I worked in the insurance industry. Specifically, I worked at one company my whole time in the insurance industry. I worked for Progressive Insurance. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm filming this and I still have the computers. They haven't even sent me the boxes to return the computers. But either way, I digress. I spent almost 6 years in insurance. It would have been 6 years in November of this year, of 2026. So I went over to them during the pandemic. Before that, I was working in payroll, working at a payroll company. What did I do over those 6 years, or almost 6 years? So for the first about a year and a half, I worked in commercial lines customer service. So if you had a commercial business, or let's just say you had a commercial vehicle that you cannot insure on your personal policy, or whatever. And when people think of commercial vehicles, they typically think of your semi trucks, your box trucks, but it could include also realtor vehicles, so vehicles that realtors use to shuttle customers around, transportation services, so services for like the elderly, the sick to get back and forth to hospitals or appointments, etc. So your commercial vehicles, basically. Also, we did tend to insure high luxury vehicles that may not be able to be insured on a personal policy. Okay, I'm coming in here to interject slightly because I fucked up my whole timeline of my job. So I worked in customer service for about a year and 9 months, so almost like 2 years. Then I worked in our SRT, which is then I worked in our SRT for about 2 years. Then I worked for our CAT department for about 5 months. And then I was in my claims adjuster job for about a year and 10 months. So almost 2 years. That is my timeline. I don't know why I fucked it up so bad. I could have just looked at my LinkedIn because I always kept pretty updated with my progression at Progressive. So I honestly don't understand why I didn't look that up when I was filming this because it's literally right here on my LinkedIn. But that is my progression for work. I had to come in here and just like break it down because I was so wrong in my timeline. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. And then I went over to claims officially. Now I went over to claims, personal lines claims. So for me, I had to get acclimated with personal lines vehicles because if you know anything, like I said, I came from a commercial line, so I'm much more so familiar with big trucks, box trucks, commercial stuff. I wasn't really familiar with personal lines vehicles. So I had to, familiarize myself with personal lines vehicles and personal lines stuff. But I did go with personal lines claims, and that's where I had been for roughly almost 2 years. It had been 2 years, I think, possibly July. I don't know when. It would have been this month that I would have been. No. It was later in the year. So somewhere around October. Somewhere around October-ish. I think I went into claims right before my 4 years at my company. I went there, and that is where I went to die. That is where I went to die. So let's talk about why I quit now. So one of the main factors was stress. It was a very stressful job. It was not for me. If you have a type A personality, you'll love claims. You'll love claims all day long. I am more of a type B, maybe middle-ish type A. Like there are some situations where I'm type A, like I'm very anal about things, but most of the time I'm pretty much a type B type person. I don't typically like to plan things. Planning things don't make me happy. Just an FYI. So that job wasn't necessarily for me. It just wasn't for me. And that's okay. Not all jobs are for you. Some people are going to sell and some people are going to fail. And it wasn't for me. It was very stressful. They were upping our claims load. and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Now, I will say, as a whole, for Progressive, they're a great employer. I feel like they offer plenty of opportunities to excel at the company. All the supervisors I've had have been great. My coworkers have been great. I've never had any issues or anything like that as far as like that side of the company goes. It was the work. And personally, for me, I can deal with a lot with a company as long as I'm not stressed out about the work that I was doing. The problem with claims is that I was basically leaving work stressed about the amount of work that I was going to have to come back to, because as you know, with claims, you're the claims adjuster. Your work doesn't stop just because you decided to take a vacation or take a day off or log off work. People are still messaging you, people are still calling you, you're going to still get assigned claims. Well, not days off, but you know what I mean. So it was just very stressful inducing, and I was having anxiety about the job. And I was thinking about quitting for about 6 to 8 months before I actually went through and started quitting. Another thing is this claims role. I will say that I kind of fell into insurance. It wasn't necessarily my first career path, but it was something that I saw as, oh, maybe I can get to this point in my career. And at working 6 years at Progressive, I realized that where I wanted to get to was going to be very difficult to get to. So basically, taking it backtracking, I got my degree in management and labor relations, specifically training. So HR, but training. They didn't call it HR because their master's program was called HR type of situation, but basically it was HR, but I did mine for training development. I wanted to go into training. And one of the things that I was told when I went into Progressive is that you can work your way up to those type of roles, which you can. I'm not saying you can't, you can. The trainers that trained me when I first came to Progressive 6 years ago, they also worked their ways up into Progressive. And a lot of them worked their way up pretty quickly. So some people said I started in 2018. Some people said that they started in 2015. And so my thing is, okay, 5 to 6 years timeline isn't that bad. It was 6 years ago, so I was 26 years old. So for me, I was like, okay, 4 to 5 year timeline to get into a training role isn't that bad. Well, a lot had happened this year. It's actually a lot harder to get into those training positions because everybody's trying to get into those training positions. And on top of that, Progressive has gone through a lot internally as far as getting rid of some departments. And you may think layoffs. I haven't heard of Progressive doing a layoff because they weren't doing layoffs. So they offered you to either go into another position or you can leave. Now, as far as leaving, I don't know what the implications of leaving for. I do know that some departments, they did offer severance, but you're not being laid off, you're choosing to leave. You're not being laid off. You're choosing to leave. So what does that mean? That means all the people who were in training and development and stuff in those departments then need to go find other jobs somewhere else. And what happens? They take up other training jobs in other places, right? And so it's just a tumbling effect, basically, which means that I was stuck in my current role for God knows how long. I either can continue through claims, which I did not want to do. I kind of really would love to get out of claims and go back to what I was doing, or go back to what I was doing, which was hard to go back to what I was doing because they're getting rid of departments and giving people who got rid of those departments the jobs in the customer service field. So I couldn't even really go back to the basic customer service job. Plus, at Progressive, they typically did not like for you to, how do I say, regress in your career. So going back to customer service would have been crazy work for me at that point. So then I had to start thinking about, well, what do I want to do? Because I kind of just fell into insurance. And over the 6 years, I have started to post online, post on social media, post on YouTube, post on TikTok. Like, I really started to amp up my posting on YouTube. And I realized that I like posting on YouTube. One of the things YouTube and TikTok permanently. And one of the things that I really liked about posting on this platform was yapping. I'm a yapper. I like talking about anything and everything, different topics, different niches. I always tell my family all the time that I'm on every side of the internet. There's not a side of the internet that I'm not on, because I am on it. Just an FYI, you will see me. And so for me, I was like, social media could be my way of talking about all these interesting topics with all these different people outside of my own family and friends, etc. Basically, I want to do social media full time. I'm hoping I can do social media full time. How was I able to quit my job? So when I started thinking about wanting to quit my job, I started thinking about the financial aspect of quitting my own job. I live at home with my mom, so I knew that if it came down to it, she would cut or not allow, like I would be able to cut or not pay rent to live here. So I knew I was in a better position than some other people who have apartments, houses, mortgages, all types of stuff, where they just can't quit their job with nothing to fall back on. That just isn't something you can do when you're locked into a rental contract or when you have a mortgage. It's just hard to sell a house sometimes. So I knew in that retrospect that I was in a better position financially. I knew that I needed to save money, and I knew I needed to pay off a lot of debt. So I did go through and pay off a lot of debt. I even paid off some stuff that I had in collections. Yes, baby. I went through and I said, I'm not gonna owe you anything. I'm gonna go through and pay all this stuff off. The only thing that I will say that I have not paid off completely yet is my credit card. And at this point, I'm just gonna be sticking to paying the bare minimum on that until I'm able to somehow pay it off. It's not a lot of money. I only have one credit card, so it's not like I'm in tons of credit card debt. I think it's like $3,000. It's like $140 a month. So I do have student loans, but they are paused right now, and I'm probably going to continue to keep pausing them until I get to a point where I am financially able to pay them, because it's like $400 a month. Another thing is that I do plan on doing some gig work to bring in some extra income to stretch my savings a little bit. So what am I in gig work? I mean, more like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark, something where it can be quick, $300 to $400 in maybe a week. Because I feel like, because I did the math in my head, and my bills typically are, my monthly bills are about $1,300 a month. So in my head, let's do the math on this. If I can make an extra $500 a month times 4, that's $2,000 a month. So $500 is almost like a part-time job doing gig work. I think with like Amazon Flex or Spark or something like that, it's easy to earn like $100 or a couple $100 in a day. But let's just say minimum $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. And then you have to factor in taxes. So I would say 30% for taxes, which means about $600. So let's just say that'll be an extra $1,400 after taxes, saving for taxes, that I can bring in from gig work. And as long as I can do that, I can stretch my savings to things that I'm not thinking about. That's the hope, is that I'm hoping that I can get to a point where I'm making an extra $2,000 a month from gig work, where I don't have to go back to a regular job. I want to structure my day how I want to, so that I can create content for all the platforms that I'm on. What's my goal personally as far as the social media strategy, and what if it doesn't work out? So first of all, I'm giving myself a year to build my social media career. I know, because currently right now I'm not making any money from it, but I know that it's going to take a lot of hard work. It is not going to be instant. I'm not going to start making money tomorrow. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have a viral video. Maybe I'll have a viral moment. Who knows? You never know with social media. You could spend 6 months to 3 years trying to build a platform and finally make money, or you can make money overnight. It's either here nor there. But I'm giving myself a solid year. 1 year from the day that I quit, which is June June. So from this June to next June, basically, to build my social media career. In the event that I reach a year, and let's just say I am on the tip of being monetized, which, just an FYI, I'm going through my list here because I will yap and continue to yap if I don't look over. And I will yap. I will become Mrs. Yapperton. Okay, over here, I will keep yapping. I will go in the circle. You guys don't want that. I don't want to edit that. So either way, but kind of looking towards the end of my video, on other platforms, I'm actually already where I could potentially monetize it, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So, but let's just say I'm on the cusp of getting monetized. I'm gonna keep trying to do my gig work, maybe up it a little bit more to get more money, etc., so that I can get to that finish line. If, let's just say, I completely fail, I stalled, it's not working for me, I decided in a year I hate it, I'll just go back to the workforce. Like, I have a bachelor's degree, I can always go back to school. Like, there's nothing telling me that I can't do what I want to do. I am 32 years old, and I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm either going to continue to keep doing what I've been doing for the past 32 years or pivot. And I think it's important to pivot right now and at least try to pivot, because if I at least try to pivot now and it fails, at least I know, hey, I tried my hardest for a full year, it didn't work, let's move on with our lives. You know what I'm saying? And I know I tried. I know I gave it my all, and that's what matters. So what does this mean for this channel in particular? So for YouTube in particular, you're going to get 2 uploads. And yes, I already know I'm not on time today. I had a really busy day, Friday and Saturday, where I just didn't have time to film this video. But I digress. I'm going to be uploading twice a week, on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and on Sundays 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what do those videos are? What are those videos going to look like? So Thursdays are going to be my Yappington videos. Those are the videos that I'm going to have. Typically, I'm going to have sit-down videos. These are going to be talking about different topics, ranging from social media to entertainment to maybe political stuff, maybe news stuff, just any topic that I find interesting that I wanted to talk about is going to be done on those Thursdays videos, right? Sundays are going to be more lifestyle type of content. So you're going to get more updates about my life, particularly. You're going to get maybe a vlog or 2. You're going to get maybe content about doing some stuff. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is content called All My Alone series. I'm thinking about it for a while now. I don't go and do things alone. I just don't. Typically when I'm going and leaving my house, I'm doing things with people, whether it be family. Are they doing fireworks right now? It's 2:30. It's 2:30 p.m. You can't even see the fireworks. I digress. I'm over fireworks at this point. But either way, so yeah, I don't typically do things alone, so I wanted to get a lot more comfortable with going and doing things alone, doing things by myself. I'm 32 years old, and I think one of the most scariest things for me is just being out in the world alone. And I want to get more comfortable doing that, particularly. I don't know if I'm going to do, I think I may do them all of my platforms, but who knows? So let's talk about my social media goals, particularly. So I am on 4 different social media sites, and my name is this. I think maybe about a year ago, I decided to update all of my name on all of my platforms so that they were the same. So it was easier for people to find me on all types of different platforms if they wanted to go on there. As of right now, my picture is different on most of my platforms. I think some of them they are the same, but most of them are different. I am planning on updating that so that the pictures are all the same. I just need to sit down and take some nice like headshot video, pictures, headshot pictures. So I need to do that. But either way, I would like to pay to have professional photos done. That personally is something I would like to do, because if I'm not mistaken, I know most people have like professional websites, and so yeah, I want to get on that. But like I'm pretty, even though I've been doing social media like for like 3-ish years now, I haven't been doing it for real for a while. So there's that. So back to my social media goals. So for the first 30 days, my goal really is just consistency. I need to be consistent. I've not been consistent for the 3 years that I've been on social media. Maybe on TikTok, but even TikTok is not even that consistent. Sometimes I'll skip a day or two and not post, and then I'll post a lot. So I really just want to work on being consistent. What does that look like? Stick to my YouTube schedule. Uploading Thursdays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What does that look like? That means having these videos done well in advance. Like I should have these videos uploaded to YouTube, and the only thing that I need to do particularly is either a thumbnail or description. I should not be filming like today and editing like today on the same day, because one of the things that's going to make you delay uploading your video is doing that. And I would like to get a hold of that. Now that I don't have a job, there should be no reason why I cannot film and edit these videos before upload. My yapping videos may be a little bit different just because I'm yapping about a topic. And so if the topic comes up that I would rather talk about rather than one that I recently filmed, I may film those on the same day, but I would like to do that earlier. Get up, start my day, film and edit. Most of my videos sit between, I guess my yapping videos sit between like 20 to 30 minutes. Once I edit it down, it becomes like 30-ish, 40-ish minutes when I'm filming it as far as raw footage goes. So I want to make sure I'm giving myself enough time to edit those videos and get those uploaded, and staying consistent, but also growing. I want to grow on all of my platforms. The only platform I'm not really caring about growing too much on is Twitter. I am on Twitter, or X, whatever you call it. I don't necessarily care to grow on there. For Twitter, I just use it to keep up with the news cycle, because I feel like you learn about things on Twitter well before anyone else. That just is what it is. So I don't really use Twitter to grow, if that makes sense. But the other 3 platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I do want to grow those. I want positive growth. When I post a video or when I post a piece of content, I should be getting followers. I should be getting subscribers. I should be getting those things when I post. Like recently I posted a video Thursday, and I think that one went up late too, but hey, it went up on Thursday. It went up on Thursday. And I think for that particular video, I did end up gaining 2 followers. So I started off at like 165 and I am now at 167. That's good. Like, even though it's only 2, yes, it's only 2, but I think the more that I get more consistent with posting on YouTube, the more it's going to push my work and my videos, and I'm going to gain a lot more followers and subscribers. So I just want to see positive growth. I don't have a specific number. I don't have a specific goal. I just want growth, even if it's like 1 to 2 people. Let's go to my Instagram. Now, I do have 2 Instagrams. I have a personal Instagram, and then I have a public Instagram. And the reason why I have that is because on my personal Instagram, I post a lot of content about a lot of pictures of my nieces and my family. And personally speaking, I'm fine with posting like my siblings, but my nieces, I'm just not comfortable with people seeing my nieces. I have lots of nieces, but the ones that I post consistently is my two younger nieces who are 8 and 5. And personally, unless authorized by their parent, their mother, I don't particularly feel comfortable posting them. A lot of times I'm posting them like yesterday, I posted them in bathing suits. People are weird. People are weird. People are weird online. I don't want to be posting my nieces on my public Instagram unless approved and they are in appropriate conditions, like clothes. I digress because people are weird. But on Instagram, I have 16 followers. Now, most of these people are people who already knew me and they are just following my pages. Either way, and they're just following a page because they see that I have a new page. That's neither here nor there. And then on TikTok is where I have my most followers. Currently, as it sits, I have 2,081 followers on TikTok. I have 393,000 likes. I follow about 7,527 people. I actually really need to go through my followers because I'm pretty sure there's people who have been canceled at this point, but that I'm following. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. But yeah, my most followed platform is TikTok. So if you want to follow me, here's my name. It's on all of those social media platforms. Come follow me. But just be consistent. First 30 days is consistently. It's focusing on uploading what I'm supposed to upload and calling it a day. The next 60 days are just working on growth. Now that we are consistent for 30 days and we are consistently uploading, it is now strategizing to grow. What is working, what is not working, what has worked for the last 30 days, what hasn't worked for the last the 30 days, eliminating those things and continuing to doing the things that have worked. That's what I'm doing for the next 60 days, is focusing on creating the content that is working to build my platforms and consistently experimenting and growing, obviously, but more so is continue that consistency, but also strategize more on growth. For the next 90 days from there, it's going to be more focused on how can I monetize these platforms. So the platform, here we are circling back from earlier in the video, the platform that I'm most close or am close to monetizing on is TikTok. So let's go to TikTok. For TikTok particularly, I think I can, if I'm not mistaken, I am eligible to join the Creator Pilot Program and start earning money from TikTok Shop. So basically what that is those are the people who are, those are people who are posting those links about products that they're using. The thing about doing that, and I've always been weird about that doing specifically on TikTok, because TikTok is typically my yap page. I'm posting at night. I'm posting in my bonnet. I'm not posting presentable for people to buy things, right? But I realized, and one of the things that I have realized as being someone who's been using TikTok since the pandemic, is that people love authenticity. And I think that if I can, sorry guys, I think there's a fly in my room. Either way, I just got a shot at me. There is, you will be the with. Trust. I digress. I think if I can incorporate it organically into my content, a lot of times, and I know you and I know you and me both know, TikTok shoppable stuff can be so fucking annoying. So fucking annoying. Buy this product, I want to organically incorporate products that I use on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to focus too much just on products that I can get free samples for. I want day-to-day products that I use consistently for a while. Like content creation stuff that I've bought in from TikTok shop that have worked and that have not worked. Like currently right now, I think the stand you guys are sitting on, I bought from TikTok shop. And it's holding up pretty well. There is also I have another phone stand that I just recently bought. I love it. It's over there. I'm not getting it to get it, but I'll post a picture of it right here. That is another product that I have posted about. That's another product that I have bought from TikTok shop that I'm so happy that I did. Your phone sticks on, baby, your phone not going nowhere. Baby, your phone's not going nowhere, okay? That thing right there, A1. And there are some things from TikTok shop that I bought, I'm like, this cheap shit. I also want to post some personal stuff that I love perfume. There are a lot of perfumes that I do love to use, skincare that I like to use, etc. Like, I want it to be a more organic situation. I want it to be put into my content. Like, if I'm doing a vlog, I'm just showing you the products that I use. You could click my link, or you can go to somewhere else and click the link. It don't matter, baby. Another thing that I think could work is the Amazon affiliate program. That's what I'm probably going to use more on Instagram and YouTube, because those are probably the place that's going to implement it better. TikTok shop just has like that clickable, shoppable link that's just so much easier to do from TikTok. But I think for the other products that I use, I'm definitely going to use it for Amazon. It's easy to like sign up for. There's two different Amazon like creator programs. There's one where you sign up and you get like a 90-day trial, and there's another one that is more permanent. There's one. You sign up, you get a 90-day free trial, you have to meet these metrics. If you meet these metrics, then you're invited into the program permanently, and you just sell whatever you want to sell. Another goal for my 90 days is to obviously continue to grow and to strategize and to be consistent. And possibly a second channel. I feel like if I can do one channel for 90 days, maybe I can start a second gaming channel, because I do love playing video games and I think it'll be pretty fun to do. So that'll be something to distress. I'm not 100% sure, because gaming content is a lot harder to capture. Currently, I don't have a gaming computer. I have a Apple laptop, and that's it, baby. That's it. We'll see about that second channel. It may happen, it may never happen. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of like my social media goals. I'm hoping that this works out for me for next year. I'm hoping that when I make this follow-up video in a year, or maybe I'll do a follow-up video in 90 days and tell you guys how it is. And hopefully within a year, I am doing what I love. But yeah, that's where we are. I quit my job, and that's why. Yep, that's kind of really it. So if you like this type of content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Please follow me all on these different platforms. Like I said, I will be posting a lot more consistent here, a lot more consistent on my Instagram, a lot more consistent on my TikTok. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to, but like, I'm a very opinionated person. Okay, Twitter is very unfiltered. If you think like TikTok, I'm unfiltered, Twitter, I'm very unfiltered. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. But I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. What is my next video even gonna be on? We'll figure it out. We got time to film that. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.